All right. Hi guys, welcome to the channel this week. We are going to be making some pretzel bites with our sourdough discard. It's Saturday night and the family's wanting something kind of fun for a snack. So let's make some. We're going to need sourdough discard, which I still have my giant thing of sourdough discard. Water, sugar, which is up high, and because I'm short, I have to get creative to get it out of the cupboard. And my husband died laughing the one time he caught me doing this. So I use a spatula to get it down. So I just hook my spatula onto the edge of my container and I bring it down. For my short girls who need help, there's a little useful tip for you. I don't have instant yeast. So we started our recipe, and pro tip, look at the ingredients before you start making your recipe. I don't have instant yeast, so we're gonna run to the store and grab some. Okay, we found it. Kabla! Perfect. Okay, we're back from the store. So I got our instant yeast, our starter, our sugar, and now we need our salt and our flour. So first step is going to be, we're going to mix together our discard, water, sugar, yeast, salt, and flour. We're going to mix everything together. Half a cup of sourdough discard. So, you know, it's really fun when you have kids and they put things back and they decide they all need to be attached. Okay, half a cup of sourdough discard. Here we go. A generous half a cup. My little spatula out when that drips in. Okay.
What starch smells?
Electric, grass.
Okay, we have our half cup sourdough starter and 3/4 of a cup of lukewarm water. Okay, a teaspoon of sugar, two teaspoons of instant yeast, just gonna cut a corner of that so I can just dump it in. 2 teaspoons of yeast, right? Yeah. 1. Just pretty much this whole package. It says it's 21 grams on, anyways, there we go. Oh, there's more left than I thought. Okay, we have our yeast in there, a teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of flour.
Do you know why this is my strongest? This is my forward.
Okay. Okay, now we're gonna let this knead with our mixer for about, what does it say, 5 minutes? And you want it to form a smooth ball. Okay, so that didn't take 5 minutes. I mixed up a lot faster. But the instructions say to wait until it forms into a smooth ball. And if you need to add a little flour, if you need it. Says it's normal for the dough to be sticky, but not overly sticky. So she suggests pinch off a piece of dough and roll it into a ball in your fingers. If it forms a ball with minimal sticky residue left on your fingers, you don't have to add flour. So yeah. Okay, looks great. Okay, so now we're gonna oil a bowl and let the dough rise for about an hour to an hour and a half. Just going to all right, and then I like to use my proofing bowl covers instead of a kitchen towel to cover these bowls because it's just so convenient. Okay, and they just fit perfectly. All right, we're gonna let this rise for about an hour to an hour and a half. Okay, so we have let our dough finish rising. It's been about an hour and 15 minutes. I let it rise in my oven with the light on because it's cold today and my house is a little cooler. So it's already doubled in size. I'm gonna get my pan and I'm gonna line it with some parchment paper before I roll out the dough onto the counter and get it started for our pretzel bites. Okay, and of course, like with anything, you want to make sure you have a little bit of flour out on your countertop. It'll help the dough from sticking to it. Okay. Get my hands wet. Okay. Now, so it says to then from here, separate your dough out into 4 pieces. I'm using my dough cutter. I'm trying to make them fairly even, but no big deal if not. Okay, and then it says to roll each piece into one long piece. So go. Let's see. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut each strand into like 6 to 8 pieces for your bites. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could, I think we're gonna do more than that. You could fold them all fancy, like into a pretzel. I'm not going to do that. We're just gonna stick with the bites. Put them on our baking sheet with our parchment paper. So, put that guy up. Here we go. Come on, dude. Fold you up a little bit. Okay, yep. Line these guys up here. I don't know if they're all gonna fit on this one baking sheet. We'll do our best. Okay, we might have to bake in 2 rounds. Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to get some hot water, baking soda water going. So instead of microwaving it, I am going to use my stovetop to get that going. Before I get the water, baking soda water going, I am going to preheat my oven to 500 degrees. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. And this recipe calls for 1/2 cup of hot water and a tablespoon of baking soda. Okay, so 1/2 cup of water and a tablespoon of baking soda. All right. There we go. We're gonna let that warm up. It says to heat it up until it's like right before it's boiling. So bubbling, but not boiling over. And you'll want to make sure your baking soda has completely dissolved in the water. And then after you get your water heated up, you want to take a pastry brush and brush it over your bagel bites. So just as a point of reference, you can see how there's like steam coming off of the water and a little bit of bubbles in the bottom. I'm gonna call this warm enough. And we're gonna go ahead and just use, I don't have a pastry brush, so we're actually using a marinating brush for the grill. So, all right, so yeah, like I said, I'm just using a basting brush or a marinade brush from the grill set. Those are good. We're gonna wait for the oven to finish preheating and then we'll get these guys baking. Okay, of course my mic stopped working. You are going to bake your bagel bites at 500 degrees Fahrenheit in the oven for about 8 minutes. And then when they come out, make sure that you coat them with melted butter. You can do this in the microwave or on the stovetop like I did. And when you coat them, you're going to use a lot more butter than you think. So be very generous with that butter. Once they have been coated with butter, you can go ahead and sprinkle whatever topping you would like, whether it's cinnamon sugar or Parmesan cheese or just salt. All right, I decided to make some cheese sauce for our pretzel bites tonight. To make this cheese sauce, you're gonna go ahead and melt 1/3 of a cup of butter. And once your butter has been melted, you are then going to whisk in 3 tablespoons of flour. Once you have allowed your butter and flour mixture to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, you're then going to slowly add in 2 cups of milk. Again, whisking to combine all of those ingredients so that it is not lumpy at all. You'll want to cook this mixture again for about 3 to 4 minutes, stirring fairly consistently with it. Keep it at a medium to low heat to avoid any burning. You just want to make sure that you are allowing enough time for that flour to cook completely. After allowing the milk and flour and butter mixture to cook for a few minutes, and you'll see it start to thicken a little bit, go ahead and slowly start to add in some sharp cheddar cheese. I usually use an entire 10-ounce bag of it. Then I just slowly mix it in. I'll usually put a little bit of the bag in, stir it and let the cheese melt, and then I'll add a little bit more until I've added the entire bag. But you can use as much or as little as you'd like. These were really good. The cheese sauce was delicious. Both my husband and my kids very much enjoyed them. So hopefully you and your family will enjoy them as well. I will go ahead and link the recipe in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us this week, and make sure to subscribe to our channel so that way you can get the notifications when our next video is up.